Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K Now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Edmund, your host for the next 2 hours.
How about
Along with Spence.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Gal is here.
Good morning.
And Nick is here. Good morning. Good morning.
It's fine. I don't want to say good morning. It's okay.
Okay, don't say good morning.
You said it for me. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I
Okay,
want
it's
to say
fine.
that.
Be like
Okay.
that. Yeah, be
It's
like
fine.
that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's
There we
back to his old self. I mean, Christmas is over.
go. That's fine. I don't want to say it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Our number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix software, Telestream Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. And I sure hope that that new Skype is working for Computers 2K now, because I was forced to upgrade, and I hate the way it even looks like this. I mean, you can make it small. They want you to start chatting. I mean, it's like, hey, come on, you have it loaded, so start chat. But geez. Couldn't put something that says, okay, we're ready. But anyway, that's Skype.
Oh, Skype-o.
Yeah. You have to take the good with the bad. Anyway. So what is happening? Anything right off the bat?
Weird stuff out at the trade show, Consumer Electronics Show.
Weird?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You can only go. There's only so much new technology, so it's how you apply the technology. So they've got weird things like Wi-Fi controlled toilets and
$7,000.
yeah,
Toilets are
right.
outrageous.
Oh, it's worth it. Hey, if you want to have a great experience in there, right? And then they have the
Can
the
you
robotic pillow that
wait. Does that mean that you can go to the bathroom remotely?
No, it just means you can have a personalized experience in the bathroom.
In the bathroom. Okay.
Yeah. So mood lighting and other things like that. So yes.
I've been watching some CES coverage, and it's what's the buzz this year is last year or a couple of years ago it was 4K, and before that it was 3D. Now it seems like everybody's got, from what I've watched, it's 5G and 8K televisions. Those are the two. Everything's a 5G accessory, even though no networks support 5G. And
That's
8K
why
televisions.
That's why it's easy to publicize it and show it, because nobody can test it and make sure, oh yeah, that's
Well, and that's what these events are. I mean, these events are to show off things before they can get into the hands of the mainstream.
Mhm.
But it's not really interesting in the now. It's like you need to go back and watch all the CES coverage 3 years from now and see what's interesting and what's not, because none of it's relevant.
If you search on stuff at CES that's available now, they do have some websites have been catering to that to say, well, so this
okay.
isn't just some prototype or a concept or whatever. There's actually these things are available now, and they stand out as being unique. I think Samsung has quite a few robotic items out that are actually available or soon to be available, and in the medical field, like personal assistance robot for people with illnesses and disabilities that can do things, simple tasks, but still the potential there is great, but it is available.
Yeah, lots of assistant products, a lot of Echo and Google Home products and things.
Some totally idiotic products.
Yeah, I'm looking at one here. A fan speed control that works with Echo.
Oh, the toilet, by the way, that works with Amazon Echo.
Yeah, here's an 11-in-1 deluxe multi-cooker that works.
Alexa,
with,
adjust the temperature of my toilet seat.
No. You need this deluxe multi-cooker, Spence.
Oh, like how many different things can it cook?
11-in-1.
Oh,
it's actually only $150. That's not expensive for a multi-cooker. That's not outrageous.
Wow.
There's the Kohler's got a whole bunch of bathroom stuff. Who knows? I don't know.
I had a woman who complained that her faucet stopped working, and it turned out it was one of those touch faucets.
Ah, yes.
Well, the battery died. Thought it was broken. Oh, I have to change the battery? Yeah, it's not. You don't want it plugged into power for sure. I mean, or to 120 volt power.
And where was the battery?
It was. Well, I blame it on the installer, whoever put it in, because the battery pack, you can move it around. It's on a cable, and you can put it just inside the cabinet door.
Oh, okay. So
it was buried in the back. She didn't even know there was a battery.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of interesting.
So they make it so you could replace it pretty easy.
Yeah, and I did.
If it's installed right.
It was standard batteries. It wasn't like a special size or proprietary battery. So it was pretty good. But that was an easy fix. So here I am thinking I'm going to replace this thing. This was the touch one. There are some now that are just proximity, where you just wave your hand near it and it will go on and off. I don't know that it adjusts the temperature. But it does. That's good, because if you got that pot that you want to rinse with pasta in or whatever, you can just kind of move your arm over towards the thing and it'll go on. You can disable that. It doesn't go on all the time unless you tell it to be on. But
what were you saying again?
I'm saying these faucets, you always feel like a magician, because you need to do you never know what is the right angle, right? And so you.
There's other new products out there for motion control it's getting more sophisticated now, where you can create your own gestures. They've got office setups now where you don't actually touch anything anymore. Typing, I don't know how that's going to work, but one thing I liked, and I actually added some of the stuff to the specials. I have a couple of pages on some of the highlights, not a lot, but enough to talk about. But one of them is a monitor that clamps to the back of your desk. You can tilt it back and put it against the wall for when you're working, or you can pull it forward and tilt it down at an angle so it's right in front of you. So if it's a touch screen, you can just use the touch. It's very clever. It's not expensive, but somebody thought about, hey, we have all these swing arm things. Maybe we ought to have a little bit different take on it, and that's actually very clever.
Nick,
hi.
Who owns Twitch now?
Amazon.
Okay. So what is this all about? Got an article that says Amazon is looking to get into game streaming.
Yes.
Joining its
Yeah, different kind of game streaming. So not game streaming as in watch people playing, but game streaming as in instead of you having a 60 gigabyte game installed on your hard drive, you can stream the game from the cloud to your computer where you interact with it, and then it gets rendered and used and whatnot up up on the cloud. So it's remote. It's called, think of it as like a remote play.
Okay, but so does that mean that if you want to actually have it streamed on Twitch, it's
That's
just you get it
total-
down?
Yeah,
No.
No, totally. You got to separate the two. They're not Twitch and this are not even in the same conversation. Talking about playing a video game, not watching it.
So you're playing. I mean, indulge me. Multiplayer game. Will that work for? I mean, is this just like your game is stored somewhere else?
Yes, you're playing it remotely.
Team viewer for games.
Yes, it's a remote for games. It has nothing to do with Twitch. It has nothing to do with multiplayer. It's instead of having the game installed on your hard drive,
Okay,
you having
so
the disc.
so here's the question. So if
Yeah.
you want to play the game, and stream it, that means you are bringing it in and then you sending it back out to be streamed.
You're associating the two, and they're not. Let's not associate the two. They're not.
So
they're
so
not
if you
related.
want to stream the game that you're playing, it has to be on your computer.
I'm not.
You
That's
see,
Maybe.
you're not following
yeah.
me.
Yeah, because that's not what the service is. It's not a streaming service, as in it's not for people to watch you. It's for you to play
Right.
games remotely.
No,
I have no idea how you'd stream it. I mean, you could stream it any number of ways, depending on how you want it to. I have no clue.
so this is
So
just to
I have an
play.
answer.
Yeah.
I have an answer. So remember, Nick, we talked about the service last week after the show.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
Google service.
No. These guys, they're selling like dedicated servers.
Yeah,
gaming
these
servers.
guys up in Canada.
Yeah. So they have a solution where you get a Windows machine that you connect to. They promise that the connection would be fast enough. They promise, and you basically install any software you want on that machine. It's built for gaming, so it'll be a bit higher than just anything else. I'm guessing that when you're disconnected from it, they shut it down. But you can run your streaming software, the one that uploads your live stream to Twitch, for example, or YouTube. You can do that on that machine. So it really depends on the setup that you're getting.
So really, it is like the only thing here is that the game is going to be remotely stored, and then you bring it into your computer and you're playing it when it's not on
Or
your.
you get it as a display. So
Yeah.
you don't even need a graphic a GPU on your machine. Everything is done remotely. You just get an image, and and you control it from your machine. It's TeamViewer for games. It's exactly that.
Okay, now that
It's
makes
got nothing to do with Twitch. Not associated with Twitch.
yeah,
nothing to do with
yeah.
watching. It's totally different.
Okay. Wow. So that's what is the reason? What's the good thing about it for Amazon?
Well, Amazon is. I mean, what's the good thing about it? It's a service they can sell. I mean, it's a profit center like anything else.
Okay, would you subscribe to something like that?
No, I've got a $1,000 gaming computer sitting next to me. Why would I subscribe?
Okay,
to that?
so this is more like for people that don't have it and want to play games.
No, well, what if I traveled 4 times a month for work?
Okay.
Couldn't travel with a desktop.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned it last week. That's right. Yeah, if
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
away. Yeah.
That's what it's for. This is a fad. These services are not going to go anywhere. I don't think. They're very expensive, and their performances are very cherry picked. They work with certain games like single player games, but the multiplayer testing has been very inconclusive into how this is actually going to play out. I think it's a fad. The price of gaming computers is at its lowest point ever too. So I'm not. I just. Do you remember a service back in early 2010s called OnLive? They were pretty popular. They were a streaming they were one of the first streaming services that were doing something like this. It was a box and it was called an On Live, and it was just too expensive to keep it up and maintained. And I have a feeling this is going to be something similar.
But that just could be that it was too soon.
It could be. I still
Because
don't know
you
I still
see
don't know the
more
mass
and
appeal for
more
this.
of you see more and more of the large companies pushing for this. Large companies, when a small company tries it and it's something new, then it's unclear where it's going. When a lot of large companies invest in it, right? This is no longer a fad. This has become like Netflix had to prove that video streaming on demand can be a viable business model.
Oh yeah,
because before they did it, the only thing out there was YouTube, and YouTube wasn't making any money, right? Large. So now you have PlayStation. Now you have Google trying that space. You have a lot of small competitors. I'm not sure that this market is going away. It's evolving and it's changing, and it will probably not look the same way that it is now, but I don't think it's going away.
I just don't know who this is. I still fail to understand who this is for and what because they market this as you don't even need a gaming computer anymore. And the market itself, because the people playing games on computers are enthusiasts. That market is not asking for this.
And that's no longer true. Come on, that's no longer true.
The people that are playing the games that these services are, you don't need this service to play Fortnite on your computer. This service is not catered. You can play Fortnite on a middle of the road laptop. You can play Minecraft on a middle of the road laptop. These services that they're renting, that a company up in Canada is renting to you a GTX 1080. That graphics card is not necessary for games that regular people are playing. This is meant for the enthusiasts, and it's got an enthusiast price point. It's damn near $60 a month for that service up in Canada. It's outrageous.
I remember 35, but that their service specifically is for the enthusiast, because they give you a server or a machine where you install your own software there. That's something completely different, right? PS Now is you click and you play, and you pay a monthly subscription. You have access to the slew of games that they provide through their service.
But
you don't need
now,
to buy. You don't need to buy any of those games, right?
PS Now is a much different service, though. PS Now, the benefit of PS Now is it's a catalog of older games that are not available on the PlayStation 4. That is its main primary objective, in my opinion. It's a whole slew of PS3 and PS2 games that you can't play on the PS4. I think that's its primary objective. I don't know who in their right mind is going to want to play a first-person shooter on one of these streaming services on PC. There is a small market for it. I agree. I just don't know. There's nobody. The enthusiasts are not asking for it, and that kind of wonder. I tried the Google service. I tried playing Assassin's Creed on it. It wasn't bad, but the quality isn't very good. You can clearly tell in certain scenes that there is latency buildup. I don't know.
Everything you're describing is, for now, it's like, okay, this is a budding technology, a new technology, right? So everything sucks about it, but the core concept is still viable. Now you're asking me who? I'll tell you who. Once they'll be able to do something like this properly, then all you need is just a single game console in your house, and you can play all of the games, for example, right? So that's one possible solution that this can provide. Exactly the same as PS Now provides old PlayStation games for defunct platforms that you can play on the PS4, right? Maybe you could play Xbox games suddenly on a PS4, or on the PC you'll be able to stream PS games, right? PlayStation games and Xbox games and Nintendo games. It's the possibilities are opening when you start doing that. So there is a huge market for it. It might have not even been born yet, right? But what Fortnite showed us, right, is that you can get so much more by being accessible to everyone with
Correct.
their open, completely interchangeable platforms and open connection to everyone. And not only that, is trying. They also have part of the all the paying process, right? Not going through the big companies, so they can also, as a company, they can make more money.
Well,
Maybe
that's what
maybe streaming is part of it.
that's
Yeah.
what. Go ahead, Nick.
No, go ahead, Amna.
It says here that they are reportedly developing their own game streaming service and is talking to publishers about distributing games on its platform.
Yeah.
So, do you think that obviously that means that they will be selling? I mean, you're not going to just go sell it. The manufacturers, the game manufacturers, the game writers, the game companies want to sell those games. So do you think that maybe they are the ones that are pushing for this and trying to get something like this going because they know, okay, the enthusiasts will always buy the game and they're buying the games or they're playing it, that they're doing what we want them to do. But there is a whole lot of big segment of population out there that is not into gaming because they think they cannot play or they know that they have a slow machine that cannot do it, and this will open the door and we can make more money. We, as in the writers, the manufacturers of games.
Do the manufacturers embrace the whole
I
subscription
I don't
model?
know.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
God, it's the whole. They live and die by this stupid subscription model. Every freaking $60 game you buy, you've got to buy $60 worth of BS add-ons and subscription
Oh,
stuff
so
to get all the
but
damn
you can't
content.
just you have to buy the game and the subscriptions,
Oh,
or can you just subscribe?
For most games, to get all of the content, you've got to buy a base game and then DLC alongside of it to get its full thing. Here's the thing: I'm not against these services, but they are not marketed towards the enthusiasts. They're marketed towards.
Yeah,
I think
I
what
would
you just
agree
said.
with that. I would agree to that in that case. Yeah, it's for people that are not, they're not going to spend the money to buy the game and to buy a good machine and to upgrade their machine and all that. So they're okay, and to them maybe the latency that will bother you as a game enthusiast will not bother them as much because well, that's I never seen it so good. But
And there are
no,
games
it
that
sucks.
single player games, latency really isn't that big of a deal, but multiplayer games, latency becomes a big problem.
Yeah.
So now, as Gal said, we're in the infancy stages of this, and we'll see
Yeah,
what comes
that's
of it.
possible. Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to have to keep their prices. They're going to have to keep their prices very low.
Oh, this is why we need to bring net neutrality back, so we can guarantee the stream
Yeah.
Oh yes, of
for the
course.
games and make sure everybody gets fair treatment.
All right. Well, I know Gal's got to leave at some point, so I want to bring up some
Go ahead.
cord cutting topics early on in the show. So, Gal, I subscribed to Hulu Live TV
Okay.
earlier this week, and I've got to tell you, it is awful. It is by
I'm not
far.
surprised.
It is by far the worst TV watching experience I think I've ever dealt with. The
Wow.
stream constantly buffers. The channel lineup is all right. The guide is terrible. There's no way to favorite channels. You've got to scroll through a whole freaking list to find what you want to watch. The guide doesn't show you anything more than the next program that's on. It's not good at all, and it's expensive. It's $40 a month.
I've never known Hulu to do anything for the consumer, so it
Yeah,
was always an awful option. I don't know how they survive.
Tried to watch. There were 2 NFL games yesterday, both available over the air because they're local NBC and Fox affiliates. But I sat here on the computer and pulled up both of them on Hulu, and at least probably a dozen times throughout the game, the Hulu stream would just stop and buffer, which is ridiculous. I could stream any content I want on my computer. I never have this problem buffering. and then it would catch back up, but the bit rate would be incredibly low, and it would slowly get clearer and clearer and clearer, play fine for a little while, buffer again. At one point, there was an error that said Hulu's experiencing a problem with this channel. Please try again later. It was just not a good experience. Maybe if I was more of a TV watcher, it would be fine, but I mean, I can just watch these streams illegally and call it a day. I mean,
Maybe
it
the
was just a
message-
terrible experience.
Maybe their error message should have said Hulu is experiencing problems with its business model. We'll be right back.
I mean, I was not, I was just not impressed with it. I just wasn't impressed with it. I don't know. I wasn't impressed.
Well, then it's a good thing that they give you that free.
Yeah, I mean, I did the 7-day trial, and I'm gonna cancel it before it gets up. It's not great. I don't know. Maybe your mileage may vary with it, but I was watching it on a Roku, which is plugged into Ethernet, not Wi-Fi, and my computer, which, you know, I stream at 4.5 megabits a second to do my podcast on Tuesday nights, and can stream 1080p video from anywhere on Twitch and never have a buffering issue. But for some reason, Hulu just kept buffering me and buffering me and buffering me.
Well, they have a very, very, very thin line to going to Wilmington.
I mean, maybe that's the case.
They never thought you'd buy into the service.
The
Yeah.
line
They
is
know you're more sensible.
the line is still full
I
of
guess.
water.
Yeah, seriously. So I'm not saying it's a bad service depending on what you're trying to use it for, but trying to watch a football game on this, and the quality is going up and down and in and out and buffering. I mean, it wasn't great.
Well, I agree. I mean, most services like this are not perfect, but Hulu, whenever they touch something, it's like they're choosing the wrong way of doing it. And it's like their subscription model with where you pay for the subscription and you still get commercials.
Yeah, I've got that service too. That's part of the Hulu Live TV. And the thing that really bugged me the most is because you don't have a remote control like a cable box or DirecTV box, you can't pound in numbers. You can't put on channel 6 or 3 or whatever, 25. So you've got to scroll through this list. There is not a way to favorite a channel in the live TV section. So to get to Fox, local Fox, to watch a football game, you've got to scroll down the list of channels. And there's a lot of channels that before Fox that pop up on that list. Or
no search, no.
I mean, there may be a search. I didn't see a search under live TV. You can select genre, sports, news, all, and then there's a recent. But what about a favorites? Like, I would have favorited maybe 5 or 6 channels and have a category called favorites, and then I can go there and I put all the channels I'm ever going to watch. I'm not watching True TV or TBS or Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, which are all channels that come with this. I'm never going to watch those channels. So give me a favorite so I don't have to scroll through them every time to get down to the channel I want.
Yeah, a lot of people.
What about regular browser bookmarks?
No, it's just Hulu TV/live TV. I mean, there is a recents, which I think is they're trying to use as their favorites, but I just how about a favorites? Like, I mean, it doesn't seem like
A lot of people are
complicated to do.
complaining. A lot of people are complaining about it. When you told me about it, Nick, I was reading, and a lot of people are complaining about it. You're not alone.
How long has this offering been out?
They've had it. It's been out for a couple months. I mean, it's got a decent channel lineup. But there's just a lot. There's just I don't know. Maybe I haven't given it a fair shake.
Who are they owned by?
Hulu's.
Are they on their own?
Yeah, they're on their own. I don't think anybody big is.
So I wonder if they're just not having enough money to invest in the development side and felt like they had to get this out the door to meet demand, but it really wasn't ready.
Now I'll tell you, for the $40 price point, and I know DirecTV now is $45, but for the $40 price point, this has got the best channel lineup for me. Not not for everybody. And what you're looking for might be a little bit different, but this has got all of the most of the sports programming that I wanted for the $40 price point. I was between this and the $55 DirecTV Now, but at that point I'll just get cable and be done with it.
Well, on the same subject, it turns out AT&T, DirecTV, Dish, and Comcast are all planning to raise their rates again in the new year. A move that could boost revenues, but risks alienating subscribers who have been ditching their traditional TV subscriptions in record numbers. It says cable and satellite providers are hoping to squeeze more money from consumers who remain loyal to their packages with hundreds of channels, even though this strategy could accelerate video subscription declines. The latest price increase comes as cord cutting accelerates. In the third quarter, the TV industry saw its largest ever rate of decline, with subscribers shrinking by 3.7%. TV they're dropping it. They're dropping traditional TV for low-cost online options like Netflix and slimmer TV options from Hulu and YouTube. They say that DirecTV is raising rates on all, and I don't understand this, why, on all English language video packages, only for English, by $3 to $8 a month, while hiking fees for regional sports networks by $1 to $1.90 in most markets. Dish said that they're increasing it by 3 to 5, and so forth. That they're all raising it.
I bet it's because the English market is the most mature and the safest one to pull an increase on. If they did it on the emerging markets, it would hurt them too much. That's probably why they're only doing the English thing.
Well, and also those foreign language packages are outrageous. Those packages can be upwards of like $80 or $90 a month.
That's true, because they got you with all the regional issues.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are they going to do? There's like, you want the whatever language channel preset. I mean, there's not. They charge an exorbitant rate for those anyway. I remember at one point there were Spectrum sent around a thing, and it had like a list of like Chinese channels and stuff like that you could all buy as add-ons, and they were pretty expensive from what I remember.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I've just been too comfortable with having. I mean, I had regular cable television in my entire life, and how that always just works, right? I mean, there's never a situation where you turn it on, and very rare is there a situation when you turn it on and a channel isn't there. You go to a channel and it's just black. That is very far and few in between. The channels don't buffer on cable. I mean, you go to the channel, it's either on or off.
They pixelate every once in a while.
I was just going to say.
Well, yeah, but that's macro blocking based on the extreme compression that Spectrum is doing with their service. But I don't know, for $40 a month for Hulu, which $40 a month's a lot of money. I mean, I'm only paying $60 for internet, so for $40 a month, I don't think I'll be getting $40 worth of value out of this thing every month.
Yeah, it's amazing when you can sit down. I'm going to watch something, and you scroll through the guide. You don't have anything that you've recorded, and you're like, "There's nothing to watch."
Well, and it's even worse. I know that's feeling on cable television with Spectrum, but even with this, I mean, there's only like 30 some odd channels, and many of them are an East Coast and a West Coast feed, so it's the same damn channel. It's just programming delayed by 3 hours on one. So Hulu for $40 had the best lineup for me. So, if you're interested in one of them, I know Sling has got a good package, but they don't offer all the channels I wanted. They do cloud DVR for free, which I thought was cool. But I wasn't. I was hoping to be blown out of my socks, and it just was kind of a subpar experience.
My daughter and my brother-in-law both are huge fans of just using YouTube. There is so much unbelievable content out there on YouTube, documentaries and shows and things that just they're there. My daughter's been teaching herself how to speak Turkish by watching a Turkish sitcom on YouTube. And it has American subtitles, so she can listen to it and watch it and pick up on. It's just for fun. But my brother-in-law watches mostly documentaries, and he got me into watching these documentaries about assembly lines for cars, where there's no sound. I mean, you can hear the audio of what's happening in the background, but there's no narration, there's no subtitles, nothing. It just shows a vehicle going through the Mercedes-Benz plant from start to finish. And it's captivating. You sit there and watch, boy, this is so cool to watch.
And that's what I mostly watch as well. I mean, but prior to having this Hulu thing, I mean, that's all I watch is YouTube and every once in a while something on Twitch.
Hey, Gal.
He's not here. He had to go.
Oh, he left already?
Yeah.
All right. There is Merle still in the? Yeah, he's in the chat. I remember Merle is the first one that was talking about the Ring.
Oh yes, but he's too busy to interact with us here. So hopefully he can take some time out of his busy schedule to chat.
I'll pay him a little bit more. Maybe he will.
Oh, he's here.
Merle, give us a sign.
He did. He posted in the chat.
I'm here.
Yeah, I know. Oh. So, Amazon-owned Ring allowed employees to access customers' live camera feeds, according to a report from The Intercept. Ring's engineers and executives have highly privileged access to live camera feeds from customers' devices. That's a report from 9 to 5. This includes both doorbells facing the outside world, as well as cameras inside a person's home.
That's where I would draw the line.
A team. I don't want them to see everything that's happening by the door. I mean, what? There's no business doing this.
They're going to allow access, unless it's in the EULA that says that they can do that, then they shouldn't be allowed.
Listen to a team tasked with annotating video to aid in object recognition captured people kissing, firing guns, and stealing. It says
just those activities. How can they differentiate?
U.S. employees specifically had access to a video portal intended for technical support that reportedly allowed unfiltered round-the-clock live feeds from some customer cameras. What's surprising is how this support tool was apparently not restricted to only employees that dealt with customers. The Intercept notes that only a Ring customer's email address was required to access any live feed. According to the report, employees had a blaze attitude. This potential privacy violation to this potentially privacy violation, but noted that they never personally witnessed any egregious abuse. Meanwhile, a second group of Ring employees worked on R&D in Ukraine had access to a folder housing every video created by every Ring camera around the world. Think about it. What's more, these employees had a corresponding database that linked each specific video file to corresponding specific Ring customer. Also bothersome is Ring's reported stance toward encryption. And it just keeps going and going about this. But this
Why are we
is
surprised?
And I was just gonna say,
amazing.
we lost our sense of privacy from intrusions like this, and now it's like human nature just says, well, I can do whatever I want, and we just have to accept this.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there for a sec. I was listening to a radio host, former radio host, Anthony Cumia. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast a couple of months ago, and he was talking about growing up in the '70s and how there was all this science fiction about how somebody's gonna come to your house with a with a gun and put a gun to your head and demand your data or demand whatever from you,
Mhm.
and you lose your privacy. And he says, and now we've willingly went out and purchased these damn devices and put them in our houses. We paid to let them into our houses. And we have. And I mean, we've given up the privacy, and now we can't say, "Oh, now I care about my privacy." You put a freaking doorbell on your video doorbell on your phone on your house, when the company has access to look at it anytime they want. I guarantee you it's in their EULA.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
So you willingly bought and put that on your house, and that, I mean, which again, I don't mind, because we're giving them the private, we're giving them the right to do it. We're not even attempting. We're not even attempting to,
and without a
do
gun,
anything.
and without a gun to our heads.
Yeah,
It's the opportunity for abuse that is what sometimes is so shocking when you say, oh, the employees were sitting in the break room just watching somebody's house because it was fun.
I guarantee you they are.
They are.
You don't think the
are.
executives? You don't
Yeah.
think the executives have a big screen in their office that is just a constant loop of these random Ring doorbell cameras?
I bet you go to their annual meeting and they're showing the best fails from around all the video that they've captured.
Yeah, but again, this is our doing.
And here again, why would executives need to have access to that? Executives run the company. What business do they have
just
in watching?
running on a screen in their office? It's just probably a motion detection thing. Motion detected, flip over to the doorbell, and it stays on for a period of time. It's probably a big security system screen with 40 different views on it or something.
And that they're working with who posted it in there about analysis shown expose compares to law enforcement forensics. That they're working with law enforcement and developing algorithms, and they're developing surveillance monitoring tools and all this stuff, data collection and number crunching and all that. It's there. It's just it's the Facebook story all over again, just in a different way.
It just, I mean, we always, when we were talking about Alexa is always listening. I mean, people can always hear what you're doing, and we said, they don't have enough people to listen to everybody anyway. Why would they be doing that? Well,
Vizio said that their TVs monitor your conversation for your own good.
For your own good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nick, did you get a Vizio?
In that most obnoxious way, but they did say that it's for the greater good or something like that.
What did you say, Emma?
Didn't you get a Vizio?
I did.
I have one too.
Does it have a camera and a mic?
Doesn't have a camera.
No, those are the same. Mine doesn't.
What did you say, Spence?
I don't have a camera, but it does have a microphone.
For what purpose?
I don't know.
Why does it have a mic?
The remote's got a mic where you can talk to it, right?
Maybe I don't have that as expensive a Vizio TV that would have that feature.
Yeah, mine doesn't.
Interesting.
I don't have that one.
But I know it monitors everything else. I mean, it has all the apps built in, so it knows what I'm watching all the time.
Well, that's one thing, but to monitor what's going on in the room is a whole different thing.
Well, their statement was, and I'll see if I can find it, was that Vizio smart TVs monitor everything basically for a good reason. What that reason is, they really don't go on to say, except it gives them information that's valuable to the greater good. I guess it depends on who they're selling it
Uh,
to.
well, who's using Pingdom? Pingdom.
I do.
Pingdom.
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 A popular website monitoring and performance management service will soon stop welcoming non-paying users.
Ruh-roh.
In an email sent to users today, Pingdom announced that it will be ending its free tier on February 6th. The move, which has unsurprisingly upset many users, comes 5 years after Pingdom's was acquired by SolarWinds, an Austin, Texas-based firm. In the email, they said that they intend to focus its resources and investment on the next phase of its product development. They were founded in 2007, and they attracted over 500,000 users from 200 countries in 7 years.
What's unusual about this is that they have waited this long to really monetize and convert everybody. Usually, a 7-year business model to get a return on investment going is a long time
That's a long time,
in
yeah.
tech.
Now,
They had a lot of investment money to burn through, apparently.
there's not much to do there. I mean, a service like that doesn't take much to ping a server, and if they see something, to let the owner know such and such happened. I don't think it takes much resources. There's no video involved. There's really nothing involved here much. Yeah, it's not something somebody can just write at the house. But they said that before it was acquired, they hit 500,000. But several major companies, including Google, Spotify, Microsoft, Twitter, Slack, Evernote, MailChimp, GitHub, Square, Instagram, and others became its clients.
I use it for free for I ping my home web server here to let me know if the internet goes out.
Yeah.
So
they're
canceling free accounts or not allowing new accounts to be used their service?
No, they're canceling. They are eliminating the free tier.
Amnon, what's the one that we've been using for years?
No, you're right. I use Uptime Robot, not
Uptime Robot. Yeah.
Oh, that's never mind.
That's still free for up to so many, So,
okay, good.
It's fine.
I always get alerts when Delta Force is down, but that's how I have it configured. So
the thing is, this is nice for indication, but it's really not scientific.
Go ahead. If you've ever been to a Discord status, let's see. If you've ever been to a site like this, this isn't a good example of it, but ever been to, let's see if I can share my screen. This is kind of what Pingdom lets companies do. I mean, this isn't Pingdom, but this is something similar, where they monitor all of their data, and then you can view it by week, year, and month, and all this stuff that it shows on here.
Yeah, but my point, as far as what in the beginning, like Spence is saying, he gets a notice every time Delta Force goes down, and I do too. And you go there and you look to see what was it down, what happened. Nothing. It was up the whole time. And
I get that every once in a while too for Uptime Robot. But the
it could be their connection to Delta Force went down.
Correct. So you see, so that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I think it's overblown. It's great for indication. I mean, if you have a problem and it keeps going down, then there's a problem. But if you get that, Nick, you're saying?
Nothing.
Oh.
What was I saying?
So yeah, people that use Pingdom, don't get upset. There are other services that will do what it does.
I think this is Pingdom right here. Hold on. This is what it's meant for in a industry sense. I think this is Pingdom. This is a web host, and this is all of their VM. This is all of their shared hosting instances and whatnot here. This is what Pingdom is really meant for.
Okay.
So they're monitoring. I mean, look at this is. I'm only halfway through the list.
Yeah, that's
These
a lot.
These are all servers that are being tracked. This is something similar to Pingdom.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not going to show your history and all this other stuff too. 591 days uptime. That's pretty good.
This is all just for
that's
Discord?
RAM nodes. That's all RAM node servers.
Wow.
I'm sure Linode has got something very similar. If you search Linode status,
Mm.
sure they've got status.linode.com. It's the exact. It looks very similar.
Yeah, that's a little bit too anal.
Well,
just-
but if you're buying a shared if you're on a buying from a shared host and they've got 50 servers and you're having an issue and you can go to a status page and say, oh, my instance has got a connection issue.
Right.
I mean, that's what it's for.
Yeah, as a tool, it's okay, but
Yes.
to have it there and to labor over it and watch it every 5 minutes, come on.
Yeah, no, I agree.
919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. There was something, and I can't find it now. There was something about that the title said that Americans want AI to be regulated. That there was some university that did a survey out there, and Americans want it. And I'm saying, nobody asked me. Anybody was asked if they want AI to be regulated?
It's a push poll that they used. Whatever organization is backing that sentiment decided that they wanted to put something out there, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
Polls are maybe there are still some genuine polls that really look for anybody can enter. Statistics are things that can be easily manipulated with the way you look at it. You can take the same data and look at it one way and it's bad, the other way it looks good, and it's both the same valid data. So, oh well.
No,
I personally think that AI could be as bad as Skynet at some point. If we were stupid enough to give them control. They always talk, the robots this, robots that. Well, robots, even if they could think on a rudimentary basis to learn their task. Did you see the newest hearing aid ad that talked about our hearing aids are the first ones to use artificial intelligence in a hearing aid? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So it's called adaptive technology that actually has things built into it to say, if it goes past this metric over here, then do this. And if you learn that it does it 10 times in an hour, then always do this. That's AI. They're counting that as AI.
It is a segment of it. I mean, it is.
Everybody thinks of AI as like the robot.
Right. That's our problem.
Strangles you in your sleep. Or,
talking about robots. When I was going through the stories, there was one story that I said, "Oh, let me see." It said something about did the Russians fake that self-driving car killing a robot? And there was apparently some Tesla hit a robot, and there was a video, and there was this robot standing on the side of the street, kind of flickering, and this car just came by it, and it didn't look like it hit it, but after it passed, the thing just fell on the sidewalk. And this guy ran over across the street and came and looked at the robot, and his, I mean, it was a fixed camera, but you could see that he was, oh no, what happened to him? Kind of thing. And he went to the other side, and I mean, what do you see if a robot fell down? Pick it up, put it straight. No, he was standing there like So I don't know what happened there, but
You could bet what are the mathematical probabilities
yeah,
that this would be captured the way it was in industry?
right.
You got to be
See,
suspicious of it. It's
Yeah.
just not.
yeah, and it
Sprint
fell.
brings up-
It
I'm
fell.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, it fell real slow. It's kind of like it didn't. You didn't see a hit or anything. It's just it's like if it
Yeah, because they
drove.
borrowed the robot and they didn't want to destroy it for the fake thing that they tried to show.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
if
don't
they
know.
destroyed the robot, they'd have to pay for it. So
It was interesting. You were saying, Nick. I'm sorry.
Spence brought up a good point. He said, "What is AI?"
Yeah.
I think it's being used as a buzzword now, right?
oh
Yeah.
Because what you described is an algorithm.
Yep.
Right? Audio goes below certain threshold, above or below certain threshold, respond accordingly. That's an algorithm.
Yeah, but it
And
is
then-
kind of
and then
artificial.
the learning algorithm would be if it happens more than a certain amount of time in a specific set of variables, then do this new thing and learn something and come up with a new adaptation to adapt to that condition.
So what? Okay, so now I'll
That's
ask you
just
then, what?
clever. That's clever programming. That's
But what's
all it
the
is.
difference between that and AI? What's the difference between a
what I'm
learning
saying.
algorithm and AI? Is it
I'm
the
I'm
same?
saying
Is
there
it different?
probably isn't any. It is AI, but they're implying that the AI hearing aid has got a little robot in there that's listening to you and making decisions on your behalf. When all it is
The-
a
I know what
very
Nick
good,
is. I
very
know.
good set of algorithms that are put together to give you a pleasant experience.
I know what Nick is asking here. I mean, really, AI to me means, okay, if it goes 10 times, do that. And if it's really AI, which I don't know that exists anymore, it could also come up with its own solutions. Said, well, this was 8 times, but it was done in this way. So I think I'm going to do this.
think
I don't think that is possible yet because everything has to be programmed in there. But if
Well-
it came out with something completely off the cuff, then it would be more of like artificial intelligence.
I agree with you. When I think of artificial intelligence, I don't think it needs to happen 10 times. I think it needs to happen once, and then the system knows what to do forever
Yeah.
or something like that. I mean, I don't know. Because you're right. That is clever programming. That's not 10 times audio goes below threshold, keep counter, 10th time makes switch. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
that's just
It's
logical
programming,
programming.
right?
And AI has been changed by Hollywood to imply consciousness and self-awareness that isn't there. And I don't think a machine can I don't think a machine can have a consciousness.
Well, it's also very possible that what they meant. What is AI? What does it stand for? AI,
Artificial intelligence.
right? What did they say in the ad? Adaptive. What did you?
No, they said the first hearing aids to have artificial intelligence.
But then you were saying that they were talking about adaptive something AI, something their acronyms.
oh well, it
So-
somehow adjusts volume level to room
Yeah.
conditions, and background
uh,
noise is canceled out.
yeah, so it could be that
And-
it's their name. They're just using like you said.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
I mean, they're capitalizing on the
On the name. Yeah.
It could also blow up in their faces when people say, "I don't want AI in my ear."
I don't
What does
want
that
that.
mean?
little-
Is it listening to everything I hear and transmitting it back to the mothership?
Are you ready
I
for
mean-
specials?
I am.
Okay.
I am ready. So today,
Ta-da!
I took some liberty and went off and looked at some of the stuff from the Consumer Electronics Show. for 2019, and they did not disappoint. And oh, by the way, I didn't change the date on all the pages. Usually I go through and I do that
Oh,
first thing when
that's
I
okay.
clean up my last week's version and then save it as the new week. But I forgot to go in and change some of the dates. So this is all, just go by the cover. This is for January 13th,
Yeah, it
2019.
said it at the top. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see on this first page, here is that Kohler smart toilet. So I don't. I can say, Alexa, warm up the toilet seat for me. I'm on my way. So I don't know. It's
Think about the
what it'll
used
do.
car you could buy for the price of that toy. That toy is $7,000
Yeah.
before tax.
If you have to ask how much it costs, you can't afford it.
I mean, that's nuts. You can buy a good used car for $7,000.
Yep. I love this other one. This is probably the funniest one I found, besides the smart cat litter box, remote controlled litter box. Your cat just took a dump. Here's an alert, right? But these are personal airbags. So if you're drunk and you fall down, it will protect you from breaking your hips.
That was not at CES. There's no way.
That's what it said. I went to this one site I went to, said this was there. And it's from the assistive section. If you
Okay.
got someone who's wobbly on their feet and it's got brittle bones, they don't want to fall and break their hip. So this could actually be, but the way they talked about it in the article was that, hey, if you're out with your pals at the pub and you're on your way home and you trip, this could save you from being injured. So, oh well. And this is the Amnon Aware. Now they have a 6-propeller drone. This thing goes for $1,700 with the controller. Pretty amazing. But they're getting there, more and more complex. They said there were 10 of the fastest growing or the best job opportunities out there for 2019. Guess what one of them was?
Drone operator?
Drone pilot.
Um,
And it's not a trivial thing to get your certifications for being a drone pilot, because you have to get certified for certain types of airspace, for flying over people, for flying over buildings, for flying in controlled airspace, all these, and it helps if you're a pilot already, because it helps you get past some of those, makes it a little easier for you to get through those certifications. But very interesting.
and Hannah, for her last semester at State, electrical engineering,
Yeah.
their project is to build a drone from scratch.
Wow.
Go figure.
Well, if you use an air-cooled Volkswagen engine for the,
Yeah.
you can make a hell of a drone. So, okay.
All right.
So just quickly going through, and I pulled stuff from Popular Science. I gave the Stan Horzek some credit for the stuff he did here in an article. Samsung Wall TV. They've got one now on display at the show, 219 inches of television for your wall.
Wow.
And there is one of them that's, I don't know if it's a 219 that's selling, but they do actually sell this now, and it's getting better. It is not, they call it micro LEDs. It doesn't say it's, what do you call it? Or OLEDs or QLED. They're calling it micro LEDs. I don't know what that means exactly.
And according to Tom's Hardware, the optimal viewing distance from that is 11.5 feet, according to their.
That's the vertigo distance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
It's like when you first wrote the movies.
Did they mention price?
No.
Okay.
No, like you can imagine, if they don't mention price, it's got to be out there somewhere and unobtainable. If you saw, this was actually on the news, the Hyundai Elevate, Project Elevate, which is
talk about elevating a car with a couple of blocks.
Yeah, that's right. This is the car that if the wheels are stolen, you can still drive it. But this is made, what they highlighted this for was not to be used on the moon, but to be used in emergency situations like earthquakes or rescue operations and things like that, for a vehicle that can go across obstacles. And and it's a great idea. I bet you it's expensive, and it will probably have its applications. Has anybody seen the video about the special emergency response vehicles they're designing for cities now, where the whole thing will rise up above the traffic and ride on its wheels and be able to avoid that takes into account that people are actually in line.
Yeah.
So this
Is
thing
that
can
that?
drive
Is that the
around.
thing they show that looks like a big like UFO thing on like wheels that?
Yeah, that's it. And
goes
it
up?
rises up and goes above
Yeah.
the crowd and gets
Yeah,
to
that's
the.
supposed to be public transit.
Yeah,
Something
they were
like that, yeah,
talking
yeah.
about having
But
buses
the
like
first
that. Yeah.
application was an emergency vehicle
Hmm.
to get to the
Interesting.
scene of an accident or an event, an incident. This is that screen I mentioned about it's the Samsung Space Monitor. Comes in a 27 and a 32-inch version, and I just took a capture from the video. What's neat about it is that it has different viewing angles and very simple, very ergonomic setup. And it shows the way you can reconfigure your desk for different things. If you have a small apartment, a studio apartment, you push it back against the wall and use it as a television. But when you're working, it'll pull forward and sit at an angle right in front of your keyboard, which is nice. So, okay. Continuing with that, Engadget has a couple of things out there. The Samsung Bot Care, which is a home healthcare or healthcare robot that'll do
God.
certain tasks, which is a cool idea for people who are shut-ins that you need to keep an eye on all day, and this becomes a companion.
Talk about privacy.
Yeah, well,
This thing's got
we already gave that. We already gave that up.
I know we did.
Let's go yesterday.
So this thing will be like dispensing ibuprofen for you. You'll have some hacker dispensing
here's the new
drugs
murder.
for you.
Here's a new scenario for a murder story, right? You go and you program this to give the guy an overdose.
Yeah, a lot of
There we go.
ibuprofen overdose.
Murder She Wrote. Here we go.
Fancy flick.
LG OLED TVR. Look at this thing. 65-inch screen. It rolls back into its base, which is neat. It's just way beyond.
You're right. There's not enough new technology out there. They just
no. It's just applying it in different ways.
Yeah.
Being a commercial driver, I like this idea of the Freightliner driver assistance features. These are things that you've seen in personal vehicles, but not in trucks. Lane assist, adaptive cruise control, other things, blind spot monitoring, automatic braking, things like that. This could be very good because one of the complaints about drivers or incidents that happen with commercial drivers is that you're on the road driving 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and your response times and all that are affected by fatigue and all that. So this could really help, especially when you're carrying a load up to 80,000 pounds. It doesn't stop real easy. So, and finally, this last one, the assistive gait, they call it Gait Enhancing Motivational System, GEMS for short. It's an assistance wearable that can help people that are either recovering from an injury or have some type of a mobility need that they need an assist from. Think of this as like the beginning of a personal exoskeleton that can help you. So these are people that this is a great idea. I mean, again, medical technology really benefits from micronization and all that of technology. Tiny motors, tiny servos, tiny sensors, tiny computers. I'm working on a car this Amnon. I was out in the street and a neighbor pulls by. We're talking about it, and I told him how I had possibly blown the engine computer. He goes, "Yeah, my car has 30 individual computers in it. For every different. Not only is there an engine control one, there's one that controls the power windows and one that controls the climate control system, one that monitors this and monitors that, automatic leveling of the suspension.
I mean, you open the hood on some of those BMWs, and there's a cabinet, and it's just like a blade server.
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of computers that plug in, and amazing.
All right, so let's get into it. For specials for January 13th. Here I have 6 at the top, and I messed up. See that? Look at that. Can't trust myself.
Yeah.
All right, laptops. At Best Buy, we've got and I went with mostly entry-level machines here today. A Lenovo 15.6-inch Intel Quad for $229, 50 off. Office Depot has an HP 14-inch i3 for $399, which is $100 off. And Staples has an Acer AMD Ryzen 3 15-inch for $279, which is $180 off. And Nick, you were saying that the Ryzen numbers are looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're looking great.
Yeah. So from a cost perspective, you notice that the prices have gone up a bit. They're closer, still less than the I series, but not as low as they were when we had all the exploits that we were worried about at AMD. Desktops. Best Buy has an HP Pavilion gaming desktop with a Ryzen 5 $599, which is $230 off. Office Depot has a Ryzen 7 Lenovo Idea Center desktop for $829, save $220. And Staples has an HP all-in-one 22-inch with a Pentium quad in it for $369, save $80. Tablets. Not a big fan of kids using tablets unless they're tightly controlled and on a educational basis, not a babysitting basis. But there are a couple of good ones out there that offer these type of features. Samsung Galaxy Kids Tab E 7-inch for $99 at Best Buy. That's $30 off. Today I gave up on trying to find something else if they didn't have anything that fit this category in an ad. So I just said zip zero nada. So Office Depot does not have a tablet on sale in their weekly ad. Staples has an Amazon Fire HD tablet 8-inch, kid-proof they call it, for $99, which is $30 off also. Networking. Got some high-end networking gear out there today. Linksys EA 9500 AC 5400 tri-band router for $299. That's $100 off. Keep in mind, you do have to have a compatible adapter in your device to take advantage of the potential AC 5400 conceptual speed. But the tri-band is certainly valuable in that it will use dedicated bands for streaming and for, this is the one that's actually got a touch screen, so it gives you network status. And look at all the antennas this thing has. It's amazing. Put a couple of propellers on it as a drone. Office Depot has a Linksys AC 3200 AC router for $199, which is $50 off. And the price of the Google Wi-Fi whole home system has come down. Now, this is AC 1200. It's not the fastest out there, but certainly fast enough for most applications. And I would not buy this system for the speed. I would buy the system for the coverage and for the fault tolerance and for the issues with coverage in a home.
Mm-hmm.
So $249 for the set of three, one base, two satellites. This is the Google Wi-Fi system, $50 off at Staples. Storage, 1 terabyte SanDisk solid state drive for $149. That's $250 off at Best Buy. $250. Wow. I did not research this to see what the price looks like out in the wild, but I got to believe this is a good price. Office Depot has a SanDisk Extreme Portable External Solid State Drive, 500 gig for $109. And these are ruggedized. They don't have a spinning disk in them, so the chances of them being damaged is much less. And then finally, I included the Staples 120 gig HP solid state drive for $30, which is $20 off, simply because it would be an easy, inexpensive way to make yourself a small solid state portable drive. Buy an enclosure for $10, a SATA enclosure. For $39, you have a hardened 120 gig solid state drive to take with you. So, or just put it into an older machine that you want to use for browsing. You don't have a large storage requirement, but you want it to start up quick and use less power. Just like that. Okay, well, accessories at Best Buy, we've got a Logitech Pro webcam. This is the 960. I did some research on this because we've been seeing the 920 out there for $49, $39 on sale. This is the 960, the next generation one. faster encoding, just higher quality, really well received. But there you got the price point again. But it's $99 to $30 off. Office Depot has a Logitech MK550. This is the wireless wave keyboard, high-end wireless desktop keyboard, for $44.99, which is $35 off the regular price. And Staples has a Logitech 30-watt speaker system with subwoofer for $44.99, which is $25 off. Monitors, we have a 20-inch entry-level monitor at Best Buy for $84.99, which is $15 off. Got a 27-inch Dell monitor at Office Depot for $169, which is $80 off. And a 27-inch HP monitor at Staples for $159, which is $120 off. Printer scanners, we've got a Brother wireless color printer for $199, which is $50 off at Best Buy. I like this idea of the P-Touch label printers. I don't know what the usability issues are around wasting tape the way it wasted in the keyboard activated type like I have, but $39. This is I believe it's a USB connected device, P-Touch Cube label printer, $20 off the regular price. And Staples has an Epson Workforce 7710 wide format multifunction inkjet. I had a multifunction, or I had a wide format printer. I don't remember what it was. It might have been a Brother. That was wonderful. I used to do a lot of trade shows, and I would make my own posters. And I would use that. I used it for 11 by 17 printing, which came in really handy. And I used it for other purposes too. But here is an 11 by 17 capable inkjet printer for $149, which is $100 off. Home automation at Best Buy, I've got a TP-Link smart Wi-Fi plug for $19 each, $5 off. So you can either touch the button on the side to turn the outlet on and off, or you control it using Wi-Fi with an app. And handy for certain things around the house. I mean, you just use your imagination. It's not a permanent where you set up thing. If you want to use it for, say, Christmas lights, or it's a good price. Again, nothing at Office Depot in the home automation security in their weekly ad. And finally, at Staples, they've got the Google Home Hub for $99, which is $50 off the regular price. And we go to Fry's. Fry's has, again, their instant promo codes. Sign up for that. They do have a TP-Link AC 1900 wireless dual band router for $79 if you use one of their promo codes. And they got a pretty good deal. I don't know the details on this Asus 15.6-inch laptop for $774, but it's worth it to go in and sign up for the specials. Okay, APC 450 VA battery backup for $45. That's $10.99 off the regular price. This next thing is Belkin Conserve Power Switch. This is not an automated device. This is a very simple, practical switch that sits at the outlet and intercepts the cord from the device. This is to save on power for what they call sneak current. If you have a smart device that's always on, that you press a remote to start, it's always using power to stay active and available for you to turn it on. Televisions, some appliances, lots of things, power supplies for chargers. If you don't charge anything during the day, why keep all your little wall warts powered? So you can use this device. It's got a simple switch right on the side to turn that outlet off without, you could unplug it too. I mean, it just is a nice way of organizing this stuff, and you can remember to use it. But it's a $349, which is $350 off the regular price. And finally, they have all of the Hype brand chargers and power strips on sale, up to 30% off. And they have some pretty interesting configurations for combinations of USB charger ports and surge protectors. I have one of these. I can't remember the brand, the one I have. It's kind of an oddball. Chinese brand, but it works really good. It's got 6 USB charger ports on it, as well as 8 surge suppressor outlets in a very compact form factor. Okay, portable power outlet, my charge, 65 watts AC, 20,000 milliamp hour battery. This is an interesting device, $149, $30 off. This is a portable power source that gives you 120 volt, 65 watt power. And it says it can power a television for hours. I mean, it's 65 watts. Like the new Vizio TV, I think, is like 35 or 40 watts, something like that. So it is possible to charge 65 watts might not be enough for some laptops because usually they have a 90-watt charger. But for a emergency device to power a radio, what was that?
Oh.
No, but this interesting. I've never seen anything this small that's got the inverter built into it that you can plug in 120 volt with the battery. I have inverters that plug into 12 volt sources, but I've never seen one this small. So an interesting device. They have an Asus DVD, internal DVD 24x SATA for $23.99. And then finally, a couple little neat things here. They've got for $1.99, they've got a micro SD USB card reader that looks like a tiny flash drive, but it will accept a micro flash card. They have a 4-port USB 2.0 hub for $5.99. It's good to just throw it in your bag. I mean, I'd rather have a 3.0, but for the price. USB-C 2-in-1 card reader for SD and micro SD for $12.99. And finally, a USB 3.0 gigabit Ethernet adapter for $11.99. Normally $20, $8 off. So that's it for specials. Computer 2K now on January 13th, 2019.
Thank you very much.
Amnon, your
There-
speakers are echoing.
Me or Amnon?
No, Amnon's. That when
Okay.
you it
Yeah,
sounded like
I could
somebody
hear
else
him.
was
That's why I
talking.
thought
Yeah.
I thought he was
Oh.
talking. So
Really?
Yeah, this should be
Yeah.
fine now. But yeah, they were echoing. Just towards the end of the specials.
Okay. And
I
there's one-
fired that. Amnon, you need to fire that AI and hire a new AI.
There's one more special here.
Yes, sir.
And Lexar, they just unveiled the first commercially available 1 terabyte SD card.
Wowie zowie.
How
Yeah.
big is it?
It's an SD card. What do you mean?
Does it come with a special cooling fan?
I don't know. The Lexar's professional 633X line of SDHC and SDXC UHSI cards now listed for sale in capacities from 16 gig all the way up to the 1 terabyte. The card claims read speeds of up to 95 megabits second and write speed of 70, though it's only rated as V30/U3, which guarantees sustained write performance of 30. Unfortunately, you'll pay a premium price of $499.99 for the new 1 terabyte SD card, which is more than the cost of 2 512 gigabyte cards.
And you should also make sure that this is supported by the device you're
Yeah,
trying to use.
right.
That's a lot. That's up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Their senior marketing manager at Lexar said that almost 15 years ago, Lexar announced a 1 gigabyte SD card. Today, we're excited about the 1 terabyte. And
They just took 10. They took a whole bunch of 1 gigabit ones
And
and
put 'em-
sandwiched them together. That's all.
Yep. Well, internally, very possible.
No, I don't think they'd have the real estate to do it. It's got to be new chip technology.
Yeah.
And it would be so hot, it would require so much power. You'd have to have an external power source for it.
Talking about Windows 10 updates.
Oh boy.
This is kind of, well, it's good in a way.
I've been hit just
What?
this past week by several people with issues from updates.
Mm.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just saw Nick's. Some Windows 7 admins. No, that's not it. In the next major release of Windows 10, Microsoft will reserve 7 gig of your device's storage to resolve a Windows 10 bug thrown up by Windows Update not checking whether a PC has enough storage space before launching after big updates. Remember, there were problems with that? It says, as Microsoft warned ahead of the Windows 10 October 2018 update, system that don't have enough space to install Microsoft quality updates or new versions of the OS will see an error message explaining there is insufficient storage space. That happens.
Why don't they just assign an AI to decide what data is important and erase it?
Do you
And
know-
say, we took the liberty of deleting half of your files to make room for this update. Thank you.
I mean, it's interesting. I have and this is for an operating system. And look what that little old program did over here. A machine that had 300 megabytes left on the hard drive, Windows 7, and he wanted to have a bigger drive. So I removed some. I removed some things and got to about 700. And I decided to install that Seagate update, the Acronis Seagate, because it wasn't that big. So I put it on, and it went, and I keep it doing properties of the drive, and it goes down, and it goes down, and it goes down to about 100 megabit. I mean, 100 meg, and down to 50 meg, and finally the notice on the screen said could not install. There was not enough space, rolling back. And the thing just went back and back and back and back and back and said, okay, now you're going to have to make more room to do it. That was so neat. I've never seen that. But I never worked with the drive that was completely full. But it actually rolled itself back, deleted itself from the hard drive, and I was back to where it was before I started. Guess what I did then, Nick?
Installed Windows Me.
No.
What about 95?
No.
XP.
No, I had to clone the drive.
Oh,
First.
used whatever that.
Aomi.
Aomi's fantastic software.
And it was unfreaking believable. I mean, I installed it. It took it. No problems. The only thing is, and I don't have enough experience with it. I don't know if that's what happened, but I cloned an 80 gig drive to a 500 gig drive and ended up with a 80 gig drive on the 500. And I said, what the hell? That never happened before. So, but all you had to do is just go into the administrative storage and extend it, and everything's fine.
There you go.
But I know that there is something in the configuration that you can tell it, now, don't worry about it. Just put it wherever it is and leave the drive the same size. But so now Windows will let you know. And I, there's a lot of Windows machines that are coming. I mean, coming that are out there being sold with small drives, and I don't understand why. I mean, drives are so cheap these days. There is absolutely no reason for anybody to sell a laptop. Desktops are okay; they have big drives. But laptops, why not have a huge drive in them? So that may save them. Dispense leave. I mean,
He didn't. He got up.
Yeah. I'll get to that story after he comes back, because that has to do with the updates. By the way, our number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. Call and participate here, guys. Um, if you have a Samsung, a photographer in the Pacific Northwest was pursuing internet forums when he came across a complaint that alarmed him. On certain Samsung electronics smartphones, users aren't allowed to delete the Facebook app. He bought his Samsung Galaxy S8, an Android based device that comes with Facebook social network already installed, when it was introduced in 2017. He has used the Facebook app to connect with old friends and to share pictures of natural landscapes and his Siamese cat, but he didn't want to be stuck with it. He tried to remove the program from the phone, but the chatter proved true. It was undeletable. He found only an option to disable, and he wasn't sure what that meant. So a Facebook spokesperson said the disable version of the app acts like it's been deleted. So
There's
it
your
doesn't.
Skype ringing, Amnon.
Huh?
Said your Skype is ringing.
Oh, look.
Can you not hear that?
Yeah, kind of. I was talking, so I could. Oh, I know why. Because I had it down. Because now it's making a big noise. All right. Did I lose the person or they're here? I lost the window. Is somebody here? No. Call in again. There's no way to change it, and I didn't want to have it loud. So I guess it comes to you loud, but in my ear it's slow. Whoever call back. Call back. Okay. So they said that the disabled version of the app acts like it's been deleted, so it doesn't continue collecting data or sending information back to Facebook. What in the world? Why have it disabled and not allow you to delete it?
Knows.
So that's a problem when you can't remove something. But I guess it's Facebook. Maybe Samsung is getting money to put it there so they can't take it out.
I mean, they have an agreement.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, contract. I never knew that Google had a Chromecast audio dongle.
They do. Or had, I should say.
Yeah. Well, they discontinued it. So, I mean, this is the first time I hear about it. It allowed you to stream music via Wi-Fi to any dumb speaker with a 3.5 millimeter. I like the dumb speaker. And they're selling the remaining inventory for $15 instead of $35. So if you wanted something like that, that's a good time to buy. And Apple is planning to, after all these problems, all this talk about not being able to sell and profits are down and all this bull, Apple is planning to release 3 new iPhone models this year, including a device to succeed the newly created XR model. So that will happen when during this year. 3 more new ones. Tim Cook is definitely not Jobs. I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're screwing I'm sure there's going to be. Are you going to buy a new one?
Not yet. I have no reason.
No,
to.
you're not.
Nope.
Okay. Um. Where is that? Oh,
What do you need? Something else to talk about?
Lenovo's. No. I had that thing that I wanted. I mean, they were talking about how desktops and sales of computers are going down. Here it is. Lenovo's resurgence in the US PC market continued during the final quarter of 2018, with gains in both shipments and market share. While Dell also saw growth in the fourth quarter in spite of supply chain and market challenges, according to Gartner. And it says it marked the third quarter in a row that Lenovo enjoyed strong growth in the US PC market, solidifying the company's position as number 3. So they are still, I mean, Lenovo and Dell are still gaining in the US the PC market. And that's nice to know. They have to survive somehow.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Did you have something that you wanted to talk about?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this in the past, but or maybe we haven't. Chrome, starting with its update July 9th, is going to be implementing more default built-in ad block features.
Yeah.
So it's going to be blocking. They say annoying and spammy ads, and then they kind of go into a little bit more and say pop-up ads with fake X close buttons, pop-up ads with countdowns, autoplay pop-up videos with sounds, and large sticky ads on desktops will be the ones that they will start blocking immediately. And I guess I'll pose the question to you, Amnon, and to everybody else. Do we want web browsers doing this by default?
I would say no.
I would say no as well. I don't think I want Chrome automatically
No.
blocking ads, because then what? I mean, what if they decide they want to block?
Exactly.
I mean, what if
Anything?
What if, I'm just trying to think of a situation. What if they want to, start blocking a certain type of video format or something? So, I mean, there's plenty of third-party add-ons, like what's the one I use? uBlock Origin. There's regular ad block. A whole bunch of those that are, extensions. I'm still hearing myself echoing a little bit. I don't know why. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I don't know if it's you or Spence. I hear myself echoing back.
Oh shoot!
Sometimes I don't know why. So yeah, I don't know if I want Chrome or Firefox or anybody else blocking my ads.
I remember I was telling you this week that I saw on WRAL that they were asking to support them.
Yes.
And I thought they were asking actually for donations because I didn't pay attention to it, but you guys corrected me and said that they want you to remove the ad blocker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an ad blocker. I don't use an ad blocker. I don't. I never installed. I looked in the plugins. There is nothing that blocks ads. And I do get all those ads.
Oh.
Yesterday I went in again, and sure enough, there it is again. So I said, okay, now let me continue and see. So there's one way to do it automatically, and it said it couldn't find what it was looking for. And then there's one that you click and said, okay, I've done it. And continue. I did that. It reloaded the page. The notice came back on. So, and I use Firefox
right now.
Do what?
I said I'm looking at it right now.
I use Firefox. So I don't know if Firefox is doing something on its own that they are seeing. But I never installed any ad blocker on anything. I know you guys kept telling me, you need to use ad block for this, for that. I don't really need it. But this now is becoming annoying.
It pops up for me.
What pops up?
The thing on their website.
The notice, but
Yeah.
you're running an ad block.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know how to do away with it.
I
So
don't know.
yeah, I'll just tell them that I don't support him. I don't. Anyway,
I'm gonna try to refresh here because this echo is getting pretty bad.
okay, do that and let's see if that's, and if not, I'll do it here.
Okay.
Is it better?
I can't tell yet.
Okay, we'll keep going and see.
Okay.
All right. This is kind of disturbing about what's going on, but I mean, that's the way life is. Part of the world will be excluded from the internet for decades to come without major efforts to boost education, online literacy, and broadband infrastructure. While half the world population now uses the internet, says half the world, a desperate lack of skills and stagnant investment mean the UN goal of universal access, defined as 90% of people being online, may not be reached until 2050 or later. The bleak assessment highlights the dramatic digital divide that has opened up between those who take the internet and its benefits for granted and those who are, and it keeps going. So I'm reading this and I'm reading it again and I'm saying, well, whose fault is that? If a country, if a region, whatever, is not connected to the internet and is backwards, well, I don't want to use the word backwards, but behind, they can remedy the situation. There's always ways to correct it for a country, for a region. I mean, like here, if somebody wanted to go somewhere in the boondocks, somewhere in middle of the woods, and bring internet, yeah, it's going to be expensive, but it can still be done. And I'm sure there are organizations. I mean, this is involving the UN. There are organizations that will say, okay, we'll invest that much in it. Any country in the world right now probably has something that they can sell.
Probably.
And you can always trade and go to high-tech companies and say, look, we need to bring internet, and so we'll give you this, or we'll whatever. But I think it's more because the leaders don't care. If they cared about the countries and they wanted, I mean, they're talking about education and about online literacy and all that, they would do something about it. What do you guys think?
I think you summed it up perfectly.
It's the article kind of tried to make the successful or the modern world that
Yes, we're the enemy.
yeah, that it's our fault.
Yes. Even though we invented it, it's our fault that other places don't have it. Yes.
I mean,
well, have you seen what's going on? I mean, I know this isn't a political show, and this isn't really political as much as it's. Did you see what happened in the Democratic Republic of Congo with their elections?
No.
They closed off voting in 3 or 4 provinces.
Yeah.
Due to a quote unquote Ebola scare. Those 3 or 4 provinces happened to be opposition controlled. And those people will get to vote in March, but they certified the results of the election last week and elected the new president.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, what about that? Where's the talk about that? Can you try refreshing, Amnon?
Yes.
Okay. I'm still hearing that little bit of echo.
I think it's interesting that kind of across the board in the political spectrum, entitled
Hold it.
have a right to the same benefits as Native Americans do. Even if you don't live in America and never born here, you still have the right to come here and take just because we're bad. And it's pervasive now across all things. United States Human Rights Commission, not the United States, I'm sorry, UN rights commissions have decided that internet is a human right, and all these other things are human rights, and that means that it's has to be provided. Somebody has to provide it, and oh, by the way, we'll manage it for you. So we'll make sure everybody gets their fair share. Which is, what is that? It's socialism.
Yeah.
So
Spence. Oh, go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
I was just. Do you want to? Is that about this topic? Because I was going to transition us.
No, go ahead. No.
Okay. So, there's your
Hold
Skype
it.
again.
Oh no, that was Gary. What happened to it, Gary?
There's two buttons. There's a green and a red. The green takes the.
Yeah,
call,
no,
the red
but
hangs up.
it's the new Skype is different than I'm used to, and oh, missed call. Never mind. Gary, call back. You didn't. Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
Oh, Coinbase. Spence, you familiar with Coinbase?
yes,
They blocked Gab and Andrew Torba's accounts this week, and they banned Gab's accounts, and the Cash App also blocked and banned Andrew's accounts this week as well. So even I was hoping Mike would show up, and
that
we
was
could
their
talk
only
about it.
way of getting inbound payments, right?
Well, it is and it isn't. First of all, I mean, Andrew's a smart enough guy to not try to trust one of these centralized services for Gab. So in that respect, he's an idiot for using one of these services. But on the second hand, it's pretty crazy that even in the and now let's be clear, with Coinbase is a centralized service to buy and sell cryptocurrency. It is not the only way to buy and sell cryptocurrency. It's just a way to do it. They're a centralized service. They store user data. They store bank and credit card information. Like, I've got my stuff on there. So you can be banned. Being banned from Coinbase does not mean you're banned from Bitcoin. You can't be banned from Bitcoin. But when you rely on centralized wallets, which is what Coinbase is, and the Cash App is, you can get blocked and banned. So I'm going to be transitioning all my crypto stuff to not offline, but wallets that I own that are stored based on hardware ID, that are stored on local devices. So I'm going to be transitioning my money over there, because now we've got Coinbase censoring
on political basis.
Yeah, on political basis. Yeah, because Gab is apparently the alt-right, or whatever they want to deem them as. So I thought that was an interesting story. And Mike's show, his crypto culture show, which airs tonight, it spends a lot of time talking about that. So I was hoping he'd be here for that. But
it's interesting that everybody was appalled when they heard about the social measurements program they were using in China to determine how valuable you were to society, and whether you would be allowed to fly on airplanes or get certain benefits of society if you had a low social score. And here we are doing it without it being implemented by the government, but with the government, basically the government's okay to say, we can penalize people, stop you from buying or using a service simply because we don't like you. I don't understand how people used to be that you accepted business from whoever, as long as they didn't abuse your business in some way. You didn't care who your customers were, because there was really no way to know. And now, even if you just happen to be a user of a certain service or have ever visited a certain site, suddenly you're an undesirable. And nope, we can't have you. Sorry, bye.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna tell people what to do. But if you're a cryptocurrency or Bitcoin user, and you're using a centralized wallet, meaning some type of third-party service that you are authenticating with, where you have a username and a password, you got to be careful when you're setting up your service that you've got your backup. But if you're comfortable, it's probably not a bad idea to look at moving your Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever to a wallet that you are in charge of. But with that being said, don't just do it willy-nilly. You've got to make sure that you store your key correctly and you have access to it, because if not, you can
Lose
potentially
everything.
lose all your money or your Bitcoin or whatever it may be. But if these services are going to play politics, then I'm just going to store my money locally and call it a day. They don't need my business.
Yeah, that's we always heard that. Okay, well, over here it's Bitcoin and it's decentralized and nobody can ever do well.
Yeah,
There are
and it is decentralized.
right.
They've added a layer of bureaucracy on top of the great
it's a layer of
blockchain.
convenience. I wouldn't even call
Yeah.
it bureaucracy. It's just a layer of
Yeah.
convenience. It's a real pain in the ass to make sure that you've got your, people take their string, their Bitcoin string that they get, which is, which is I think 24 or 25 words,
Mhm.
and they store them in safety deposit boxes. I mean,
Yep.
that's they take it out, they print it out on a piece of paper, they write it out by hand, they fold it up, and they bring it to a safety deposit box, and that's where they're storing their backup. So it's so much more convenient just to touch my fingerprint to my iPhone and be able to view my cryptocurrency. But if they're going to just start banning accounts for being an uncensored social media, then I'm out. I'm out. I'll take my business somewhere else.
How are they making money from you?
There may be a withdrawal fee. Yeah, there is. I'm pretty sure when you buy, let's see.
Okay.
Let me see if I try to buy. I'm sure there's a service fee. Let's see. I want to buy Bitcoin. I want to buy $5. Oops, not 500. $5. Preview buy.
You don't see it right away.
I'm looking for it. Yeah, they charge a $1 service fee, it appears.
Okay.
Per transaction.
Yeah. Not just when you buy, probably both ways. If you cash out or
yeah, I've never sold. Yeah, but the good thing is you don't have to cash. You can transfer your Bitcoin from Bitcoin to Bitcoin and you won't pay a fee. I'm sure there is a fee to convert Bitcoin back to cash, US dollars, that is, and then withdraw it. I'm sure there's a fee in there as well. But again, that's why there's a fee for convenience. And I don't mind paying a fee for convenience. I mean, it's to me, it's worth $1 a buy to not have to deal with anything else, but not if they're going to be censoring accounts. That's not cool. So more online censorship, exactly what we needed.
Yeah.
Very
Hey,
exciting.
Spence,
Yes.
you were going to say something about the updates that you run against.
Oh, yeah. I've had people call me. I think I mentioned this one last week, but another one happened this week where file associations were blown up after the last update, where you couldn't directly click to open a PDF or Word or Excel documents, and had to go and reinstall Acrobat. Or no, actually I had to turn off administrative. Acrobat was set up so that you ran as administrator. I had to turn that off because you kept getting the user access control every time you opened a PDF file. And then you couldn't click through to open any Excel or Word documents from anywhere. I mean, if it was native on your machine sitting there in a folder, you click on it and it wouldn't open. You'd have to go and open the app first and then open it, say file open, to get it to open. So that was a reinstall of Office 365 to fix that, which a pain in the neck. But the latest one that happened was someone has an older version of Works Microsoft Works
Oof.
updated to version. I don't even know whether do they make Works anymore?
I don't think so. I think 6
No, they
was the
upgraded.
latest.
They had an older version, and somebody gave them version 8, and they installed it on their
Oh.
Windows 10 machine, and now their files disappeared after the update. It was working okay, and then the update came along, and then the Microsoft
no
Works
backup.
stopped working.
And no backup.
No, well, I don't think so.
Oof.
I asked about restore points, and they had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. Windows. All right, guys. John was asking, is mycelium safe for Bitcoin? John, really, you need to listen to. I mean, I don't know anything. Anybody knows what mycelium is? I don't. But you need to listen to Mike's show tonight at 9:00, and that's what they talk about. All right. Anything else? Going once?
Mycelium is a Bitcoin wallet. It might be local. I will pass this along to Mike, and then we'll talk about it next week.
and why would they pick a name for that is actually a vegetative fungus?
I don't know, Spence.
What- it doesn't exactly.
Spence.
Scream reliability or anything there. It's funny. But yeah,
All right.
network of fine white filaments. I guess it does have a corollary to blockchain.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks, Nick, Spence,
Yes, sir.
Gal. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Tonight at 7, Nick hosts Against the Norm. And at 9, Mike Phillips hosts the Crypto Culture Show. Both of them are on Wilmington Big Talker 106.7 FM, but you can listen on TuneIn. And if you don't know how to get there, on the left, under links, it'll take you right there. See you next week, everybody.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.